Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Look how pretty this book is. So Gallant came out in March 2022. It's a standalone novel by V.E. Schwab, and for me personally it's the first book of hers that I've read and I gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. So the book follows the main character Olivia. She cannot speak, so she communicates through sign language or through writing on a piece of paper, piece of slate, so people can read what she's trying to say. Olivia is an orphan. She lives in an orphanage and she can also see these ghosts and ghouls, these weird little creepy things that hang around. She's having a hard time at the orphanage and she's about to be kicked out when she finds out that she has family who are coming to adopt her and take her home. After that, the plot gets a bit spoilery, so I won't say any more, but it was a great novel. I really enjoyed it. I knew going into it that it was young adult, so I was a bit worried that it would be maybe a bit childish, a bit, yeah, a bit weak maybe, I don't know if that's the right word, but I ended up really enjoying it, and it actually reminded me a lot of Neil Gaiman. It had those kind of weirdly spooky fantasy vibes. Specifically it reminded me a lot of The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, in which the main character can also see dead people, so that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I felt like the writing style was really nice. It was easy to read, but it was also really interesting. I think I got through this book in a few days. The book had a lot of nice, like, gothic vibes. The house that Olivia goes to, her family house, ends up being a haunted house where she sees a lot more ghouls and ghosts. And the haunted house vibes were just immaculate. I really enjoyed the gothic feeling. It felt so dark and so creepy, but it didn't make me feel uncomfortable. It was just interesting. The one thing that was a bit like, ooh, was the ghosts and ghouls. When Olivia sees them, she sees them how they died. So if they died like a really awful death, they look quite awful in the afterlife, how she sees them. So sometimes it was a bit creepy, bit weird, bit uncomfortable. But that's kind of what I was hoping for going into this book. I've never read anything by V.E. Schwab before, but I do have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue on my bookshelf. I know that's probably going to be very different vibes, but I'm so looking forward to this now, and I think I will be looking at more stuff by her in the future. The book was really well written. It was so fast paced. It was so interesting. All the characters in it were really great. There were a few characters that were a bit ugh, but they were meant to be that way. You were meant to hate them, you were meant to not like them, and I think she wrote that really well. And I really enjoyed the main character of Olivia, and I just found it interesting having a main character that doesn't speak, who communicates through sign language, who communicates a different way to everyone else. There were a few moments where other characters in the book just turned their back on her because they didn't want to see what she was trying to say, and that made me so angry. I felt for her so much in this book. She fights so hard to be heard in silence, and oh, it made me, yeah, it was great. But it was fun reading a book where the main character is different to anything I've read before. So I gave this book 5 stars. If you've read it, let me know what you think, and if you haven't read it but have it on your shelf, I hope I've made you want to pick it up. Thank you. Bye.